Oh, crikey, they're all bloody hell. Shit.
Are we being hypnotized, manipulated, and blinded into the facts? Oh. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, kia ora. I am TBC Dr. Joe Stevens. My wife Sandy is my moderator. Today is Saturday, 30th of June 2018 in New Zealand, Wellington. And I just want to say a quick hello to my dad, who would have been 91 today. And we miss you a lot, Dad. Manipulated, blinded by the facts, by newsreaders, TV, movies, politicians, teachers, lecturers. We're in a world run by unbelievably sick people, and what a group of sick people that have led us to this state of what the world is today. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is reality, and what is really going on is absolutely ginormous. Hello, Gilbert. Hello, Inderia. Kia ora, Jilzan. Kia ora, Romeo. Kia ora, everybody. Welcome to my broadcast, number 38. Sorry about yesterday, but had a bit of volume problems. And yeah, I've managed to fix them overnight. Someone hacking my computer, I think. Could be the Illuminati or someone like that, I think. This is well I know how to fix things. So very sorry about that. Oh, g'day, Paul. Welcome. So, what is my topic today? Well, I've got a couple. It's hypnotized, manipulated, and blinded, and probably ignorance as well added into that. And if I have to break this up, and because it's a bit long today, I might have to finish it off tomorrow. So if you have any questions, if I can get to them, I'll get to them. But other than that, I'm just going to go full on into this. I want to go back to the islands to dance. Kapi oi oi. with the right attitude, this is what I just pulled out of Facebook today. This is from Randy Wilson. With the right attitudes and the right heart, opportunities will find us. And I thought that was awesome. But this is from me. You can hold on to your smallest doubts and take comfort in it. Stay in denial and go on with your carefree life until one day you're finally cornered by the truth that can no longer be ignored. That truth is here now. Blinding, manipulation, ignorance to the fact ends now, people. It ends now. Okay, so how do we know if we have been hypnotized? Well, that's the easy part. First, your eyes start to flutter. Then your eyes get sleepier. Now you're getting sleepier. And now you're asleep. Oh, sorry, no, wrong one. No, just kidding. I need a watch to put you guys to sleep. Anyway, is it the chemtrails they are spraying in the air? That could be something that is blinding us. And now we mesmerized that we cannot control ourselves. We argue often about the fact that something needs to be done on a daily basis, but are we actually doing something? No. Hang on, I'll just share my screen and I'll just show you an article and you'll have to go there and have a look at it yourself. But I'll just share my screen with you and come on. Go to this article, which is Aladdin's Miracle Lamp.wordpress.com, and have a look at this. And this is an article that I sort of had a touch up on in the last few days and have been reading. And it's this is a lot of. This is why I started off with those sick people. Just have a read of it. It's huge. I'll stop sharing now and I'll go back to carry on. I just wanted you to go and have a look at that article and see what you think. Now I have to bring everything else back up. Put my window back up. See. Well, nearly had you hypnotized. Yeah, so go and have a look at that article. It's got a lot of interesting stuff in there that you need to read. So what is hypnotizing us? And what is making us blind to what has gotten us into a state of disrepair? Meaning it can't be repaired. I'll come back to that. How many central banks are left for the Rothschilds to take over and make their own? Does anybody know? How many central banks are there left in the world that they've got left to take over? Just type the number in if you know. Don't go Googling it. Have a quick guess. Between 1 and 7. I can tell you that in 2000 there were 7 countries that owned and controlled their own banks or own central banks. Close, Gilbert. Those central banks in 2000 were Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Libya, Cuba, Iran, and North Korea. No, 7. That many, 7. The wrong way, in area. Go down now. One more. There's 2 that control their own banks now. There's only 2 left. Can you name them? In 2003, there were 5 left, and in 2011, there were 3 left. In 2018, there are 2 left that own their own banks or own their own central bank. And yeah, well, we don't own our bank in New Zealand, and neither do they in Australia or anywhere else in the world right now. There's only 2 banks left, and they are North Korea and Cuba. The Federal Bank is owned by the Rothschilds. What's the bet that hypnotizing and manipulating the bureaucracy, the mesmerizing trances, or again the blockading or the blockades, the misleading and the crap will continue. These people will continue with what these people have complete control over. Every bank. A good person always draws a circle around his family. A better person will have a circle around his family and his friends and his community. But a greater person will have a greater circle around his family, his community, his friends, people, the world. Nation and the world. So the opposite to that are truly greedy people. You see, people are so blinded by and hypnotized and by ignorance now. Who said that ignorance is bliss? If one is unaware of the unpleasant fact or situation, one cannot be troubled by it. Blinding yourself to what is happening, that is what you're saying. And this quote is by BJ Novak. He was saying, blinding yourself to what is happening, that is what you're saying. I think it's better to know certain things. It gives the world an extra bit of mystery, which is important to us as human beings. But now he's ignorant, so he's looking after number 1. For a lot of the Stalin, what did Stalin say? Stalin said, one person's death is tragic, but the death of millions is statistics. Apathy is a major concern. It is really apathy is a really big concern to a lot of people's lives. Got to wake up, people. Sorry, did I say disrepair last? I did say disrepair a little while back, meaning it can't be repaired. But it can be repaired. Nothing is unrepairable. We can fix it. TBC can fix this. How? We have the billion coin. We have the members. We have the supporters. We have the broadcasters. We have the voices. We have the vision. We have our vision. We have our sight. We're not blind. We have our goals. We have our why. We have our heart. We have our reasons. We have our families. We have everything to live for. We have to fight this out and manipulate them, hypnotize them. We have to turn this around. I thought this was going to be long, but I got through this pretty quickly. Well, then tomorrow's blind, we have to throw tomorrow's blindness out the door and hit them where it hurts. Well, why are we allowing ourselves to use their fiat currency? We have a vision. Kia ora, Romeo. We have a vision. We have vision. Yes. And as I say again, why are we allowing ourselves to use their fiat currency? They invented it, and we have to use it. Do we have to use it? Each one of us has, this is from Gilbert Ross, each one of us has within us the power to change. The question is, do we want to change? Well, if we want to carry on being blinded, ignorant, manipulated, hypnotized by them, then we just carry on doing exactly what we're doing every day. Nothing about it. And that's what will happen. Nothing will change. So I keep looking that way because the chat's that way. I know the camera's up there, but I look that way because I'm looking at the chat. I'm talking to the people in my chat. That's why I look at my chat. I know the camera's up there. But how do we stop being hypnotized by these people? How do we stop being blinded by these people? We're also giving them the leverage. It's drawing us into a false sense of security. What was that song? I am blind, but now I can see. We have the billion coin. We have the members. We have the voices. We have the broadcasters. I don't really want to go back and I keep using fiat, if we've got the billion coin, we need to start using that full on. Start rubbing it in their faces, and which is what they've been doing to us. Use their money to buy the billion coin and free energy, and then give it back to them useless, worthless. Thanks, Romeo, for that. Give it back to them as worthless piece of paper is what it's printed on. Worthless. Only the numbers on it say that it's worth something. While they use our birth certificates to make money from the stock markets with, eh? Funny that. As TBCNs, we are visionaries. So true. Are we missionaries as well? Because we're on a mission. We're on a mission to make a difference. We are on a mission to make it, and we have our sight. We can see. We're not blind. TBC has woken a lot of us up to see what has been going on. We knew about it, but did we do anything about it? Not until we were given something like TBC to break the shackles, to break it. We were given something. Now we're using it, and we have to use its full potential. So we have a reason. We have a why. And we have our families to consider. The future for them is going to stay bright and not being manipulated or hypnotized or blinded. So why do we send them to schools? To learn to spend their money. Mm-hmm. Why are so many people out of pocket and are so poor and homeless? Well, we must ask ourselves, where do we want to be in 2, 5, 10 years from now? It's time to build. Thank you, Gilbert. We must act now. We have to act now. We have to do something now, today. And I see a lot of people have been in the on Facebook with Randy, and I see a lot happening in there. And awesome, and it's going to be awesome for a lot of people. Oh, welcome, Brian. Just about to finish up. But a lot of manipulation has been going on, and a lot of blindness is what's been put in our, has been covering, has covered us up from seeing the true world. See, social media is an awesome thing. We can talk to each other, and we can continue to work with each other for as long as it takes. So a good person always looks to draw a circle around his family. But as I said, a greater person looks to build a circle around family, friends, community, nation, and the world. Which one do you want to be? And we have a heart. We have a heart. We can do this by using our voices and broadcasting. I might have been down for one day, but I'm back up again. And I'll be broadcasting tomorrow too. I've missed a one day, I make up for it. I sort of said to myself that I'll be broadcasting only 5 days a week and give 2 days to my whānau, which is family for those. And maybe I'll give Monday to my wife. Not maybe, I will, because family comes first. I know a lot of us are not blinded by our families, so why don't we use that?
Oh, what's happened for Serene?
Oh, what's happened there, Gilbert?
Oh.
Never down too much to get broadcasting done. Come back even stronger. My H, Jules, that's just what's happened to Serene's. Our prayers are with her. Our blessings go with her.
Look after the most important moderator, Joe.
Definitely. Thanks, Gilbert. But anyway, folks, I just want to say thank you very much for joining myself and Sandy today. You didn't plug my phone.
What? Oh, I wasn't even plug it in. Oh, sorry. Oops, it's running low.
Thank you for joining me today. I think I might look around and see what I can come up with tomorrow and make it even stronger than today. But thank you very much for joining me today. And I want to say thank you to...
Loved one passed away yesterday.
Oh.
Reported from the car. Oh.
From the car?
She reported from the car.
Oh. I want to say thank you, Gilbert and Daria, Jules Van Chair. Romeo, Mr. Paul Fisher, Brian. Thank you very much for being here today on my broadcast. I'll get to 50, but I'm not in a hurry to go flat tack. Maybe if I start getting pushed out of my place, then I will. I'll go flat tack. But I'm not in a hurry. I've got enough TBC behind me to last my grandkids' lifetime. And when it's time to attack the New Zealand government and manipulate them into using TBC as our currency, then we will go ahead. We'll charge into it. I'm pretty sure I'm not far off getting it all ready and set up, but we'll see what happens. And I hope they do have a serious look at getting away from the alumni and whoever is manipulating the New Zealand government into doing this. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, Gilbert, not a problem. And our prayers go out to Serene and her family in whānau. Blessings from us all. So anyway, folks, kia ora, thank you for joining me today. I thought it was going to be a bit longer because I had so much to talk about, but I actually got through it quicker than I thought. On behalf of myself and my wife, who is my moderator, who I have to pay later on again, kia ora. Thank you for joining me. Ka kite anō. And we'll go out with ka pioioi. I'll be back same time tomorrow, 3 o'clock, in spot number 31. Whether I'm on the normal spot or the backup, I'll still be in that spot. So, with that, folks, kia ora. Thank you very much. Ka kite anō. Peace. And have a very good weekend. Ka kite anō. Ka kite anō.